Hi, my name is Matt Carroll and I'm part of the Exos team. Today I will be talking about the important topic of hydration and the role it plays in our daily living. What this lecture will focus on is the big picture of hydration. By the end of this lecture, the goal is to understand why hydrating is important and have a better understanding of the role it plays on the body, how we gain and lose fluids, and what factors can affect the fluid input and output. Also take a deeper dive into hydration with an emphasis on performance and hydration strategies. Water is a solvent. A solvent is usually a liquid that dissolves other solids, liquids, or gases. Water dissolves proteins and moves them around the body. It can bring nutrients to the cells and carry away waste products away from them. This allows for water to synthesize proteins, glycogen, and other macromolecules for the body. In water, there are dissolved chemicals that spend much of their time hanging out in it. So this means that water is an area where intercellular metabolic reactions occur. For many of these reactions, they actually require water. It can also play a catalyst role in speeding up enzymatic interactions with other chemicals. Water also stimulates our metabolism. The way to think about the process is that the body has to expend energy to warm the fluid to body temperature, and the more energy expended by your body, the faster your metabolism will run. Metabolism is the process by which your body converts what you eat and drink into energy. In 2003, a study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism stated that drinking about 2 cups of 71-degree Fahrenheit water led to a 30% average increase in the metabolic rates of 14 healthy adults. We know that water on a floor becomes slippery. That's because water decreases the friction and is even true in our bodies. Water lubricates and acts as a shock absorber for our eyes and even our spinal cord. It plays a role in cognitive function. As previously stated, that water is required to provide a metabolic and structural support for cells and tissues, as well as being involved in transport of essential nutrients and compounds which are essential for proper neural function. Studies have shown that cognitive function declines at a mild water loss of about 2% of body water loss, though this can be affected by individual differences related to fitness levels and dehydration tolerance. Water also acts as a source of temperature regulator. As the body temperature increases, we sweat. When we sweat, it cools the body down. Finally, mineral water commonly contains substances like magnesium, calcium, sodium, and zinc, and according to recent research, they're actually a pretty effective way to boost your mineral intake. A recent study has found that mineral water has legit health benefits. The way to think about hydration is that it's about fluid balance. It's the relationship of fluid coming in and fluid going out. Everything that we consume contains water, even the food that we eat. The way to think about it is we get about roughly 4 cups of water through our food. Raw fruits and veggies are mostly water. Even cooked whole grain rice or legumes contain water since they absorb cooking liquids. Even the skin on our body helps absorb water and it stays there and doesn't go to the rest of the body. Even our internal metabolic reactions help create water in small amounts. That being said, we do have fluid leaving our body through sweat, air we breathe, and it can be excreted through our urine or feces, or even when we're sick, like vomiting. Other processes of losing water are through the body fluids like tears or saliva. What we need to do is anticipate fluid loss and have an action plan to always stay hydrated. For those sitting at a desk, this may sound silly, but staying hydrated is very important. But there are some factors that influence our thirst. We tend to get thirstier when it is warmer, the air is drier, we've eaten something salty, drank some alcohol, we've been sweating and exercising, we're wearing warmer clothes like heavy uniforms or sweatshirts, and if we feel ill. Most adults need to drink 1/2 to 1 ounce of water for half their body weight. If you're currently not following this, try adding 1 to 8 ounces of water daily until you've reached that half your body weight mark. Things to remember that if you're planning on exercising, add 1 to 2 cups of water 30 to 60 minutes prior to the activity and drink 1 to 4 cups of water in the hour or so after. If it is warmer, you may need to add 2 more cups of water, and if you are exercising hard, you may need to increase your total intake of water to 6 liters or 24 cups of water per day. So after covering how much water you need, it is important to talk about the game plan for you staying hydrated. First step is always keep a water bottle with you and always try and fill it up at least 2 times a day. Don't wait till you get thirsty to drink. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already slightly dehydrated. You can also set up an app on your phone to help track the water intake. Some of the apps that are recommended are Fill It Forward, Plant Nanny, and Water Tracker. Adding more water-rich fruits and veggies will also help you stay hydrated. You should aim for at least 3 different colors on your plate. Try to aim for sparkling water or unsweetened tea instead of soda, or add flavor to your water if you do not like the taste of water. Some things to try are fresh fruit, mint, or even cucumber for added flavor. You can even track the water loss during exercise and replace the fluid loss. The rule of thumb is 20 ounces per pound lost during exercise. Water, water, water. Water should be the beverage of choice for hydration before, during, and after any physical activity or exercise routine lasting less than an hour. The recommendation is adults and children should only have sports drinks during extended and heavy exercise that lasts longer than an hour. With the focus on fluid in versus fluid out and fluid balance, there's another part that has a key factor, which is electrolytes. Electrolytes are substances that are dissolved in solvents known as solutes. With dehydration, there is not enough water and too much solutes, aka losing more water than taking in. Electrolytes are minerals like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, or even chloride. These carry electrical charges that dissolve in the water. Every process in our body depends on it. We need them, and we need to keep them in proper balance. This has to keep the balance of in versus out. We consume electrolytes from foods and drinks. We can lose electrolytes in our urine and sweat, but not as much as we lose in water. Those that need fluid and electrolyte replacement can simply drink a diluted carbohydrate drink. These carry the electrolytes. Just some of the benefits of these drinks is enhanced endurance, increased blood glucose and glycogen synthesis, lowers the response of inflammation damage after training. However, these drinks should be diluted, ideally less than 10% of concentration. We do not notice our thirst until after a loss of 1 to 2% of our body water. This is the point we start to suffer in our performance. This is called dehydration, or when there isn't enough water in the body. In mild dehydration, there is an increased strain on the heart and reduced aerobic endurance. At 3%, a reduced muscular endurance. Other signs of dehydration are headache, fatigue, low blood pressure, and rapid heart rate. If the loss of fluid isn't replaced, the symptoms can become more dire and lead to death. The body does not adapt to dehydration and cannot be trained to become better at being dehydrated. All we need to do is regularly anticipate our habits to focus on ensuring that we are always hydrated. One way to determine the hydration of the body is to examine your urine. In this slide, it shows the levels of hydration. Since we lose fluid through our urine, it is a great way to test your hydration levels. Take a moment and examine the chart. You can tell on the right it gets darker, and that's not a good thing. An average healthy adult needs about 400 to 500 milliliters of water per day for the kidneys at minimum. At this fluid intake, our urine becomes highly concentrated and we can actually see a rise in the risk for kidney stones or other problems. The goal is a slightly colorless or slightly yellowish tint. To summarize, hydration has a large role in daily living from nutrition to movement. It is important that we drink half our body weight in ounces of water each day. Hydration increases our productivity and our mental clarity and helps with regulation of our body temperature, as well as helps transport macronutrients, as well as keep our joints lubricated and optimizing our GI tract. If you can remember one trick to make you a better mover, it is to keep a water bottle nearby. Swap those sugary drinks for a glass of water, and remember that fruits and vegetables are a great way to get a little bit more water in the body. And when it comes to exercise, enter into a workout, maintain that hydration before, during, and after the workout.